Hello, thank you for joining. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I only want to put my window down a slight bit, and I started the engine instead. Goodness, 11 of you here already. Thank you all for joining. Chris says, hi Lisa, how are you? I'm fine. I'm waiting for my son, as you, well, you wouldn't know, but you can see where I am. So it's jam-packed full inside. There's a doctor's strike on. Heb says, hello Lisa. Hi Heb. Thank you for joining. Yeah, there's a doctor's strike and the waiting room's absolutely jam-packed full. So I thought if I sit here, I'm not showing too many people. As we went in, coming out was a female with being escorted by police, and she was not happy, but she's been seen to. So I thought, well, while I'm sitting here in the car, I might as well go live. Bob's here. He says, good evening. Hi Bob, thanks for joining. I thought, well, there may be a few of you who want to come and say hi. Keep me company. Julie's here. She says, evening. Thanks for joining, Julie. John's here. Hello, he says. Bob says, where are you? I'm here, Bob. Chris says, both Claire and I are down on the Broads on Thursday. What's the weather like at the moment? Well, it has been very windy and a lot of rain. But I think it's okay for a few days now, isn't it? Hev says, looks a tad wet there tonight. It does, but it stopped raining, so that's good. And all those high winds have eased. So how are you all? Everybody okay? Chris says, oh my goodness, I hope so. Yes, I'm sure you'll be fine. I do feel sorry for those people who are on holiday this week when the weather's been so rough. Hev says, at least your son is in the dry. He is. SW has joined us. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening, SW. Dave's here. Evening all, says Dave. Thank you for joining. SW says, is everything okay? Are you at the hospital? I am at the hospital, SW. I am. I'm sat in the car. I've just dropped my son off inside. Yeah. He does carpentry and joinery. And he was using a what was he using? I don't know, some high-speed machine, and the sawdust has gone up into his eye, and he thinks he scratched his actual eye. We started off with 111, and then we had to ring them again. And when we rang the second time, they said ring here. Chris says, what are the water levels like at Ludden Bridge? I haven't been to Ludden Bridge in so long, but I think the rivers are quite high at the minute. Heb says, sounds horrible, poor lad. Yeah, it's not nice, is it? Dave says, I thought you were going to say he's cut his finger off. No, in the past he has shot himself in the leg with a nail gun. He did do that. But it just seems to be that joinery is, you know, things are like that. But when the machines are spinning around so fast and all the sawdust is flying around and it gets under your goggles, I would have waited in there with him. SW says, you may have a long wait perhaps. Shall we keep you company for as long as needed? That would be lovely, SW. That was kind of what I hoped. There's a doctor's strike on today and the waiting room is jam-packed full, so he's going to be in there a good while. Sarah's here. She says, oh heck, what's the matter? It's my son, Sarah. He, as you know, is a carpenter and joiner, and he was using some machinery today. I'm not sure entirely what. I think the router, I don't really know. And it spinned around at high speed, and all the sawdust, because it's a windy day, all the sawdust blew up under his goggles. So he's got it in his eye, washed it out instantly, but he feels he's scratched his eye, or it's scratched his eye, and now he can't open his eye. So Heb says, have you got a flask of coffee tea with you? No, I haven't. No, I didn't bring anything. We just went straight to the car and came here. Dave says, as a chef, I've had my fair share of cuts and burns. I'm sure you have. It's not nice. No injury's nice. So I think as there's a doctor's strike on today, we will be here a while. And of course, I'm not prepared. My phone wasn't fully charged, and so I don't know how long that's going to last. I've got a battery pack, but it's only got 2 lights on it. Heb says, can you sneak in for a cuppa at the vending machine? I can, yes. And I probably will do in a bit, but not just yet. I told him to message me if he wants a drink or anything, and I'd go get it for him. And then we'll get something, because he hasn't eaten, because he didn't feel up to it. I know it sounds pathetic because it's your eye, but if you scratch your eye, it's not nice. Dave says, my dad was a carpenter joiner. Bit ironic considering our surname. He'd always be coming home with plasters on his fingers. Yes, hazards off the job, isn't it? And he's always got plasters. He's always doing something. He's got a scar on his wrist that makes him look like he's done something to his wrist he shouldn't have done, but that was a saw. And as I say, he's previously shot himself in the leg with a nail gun. That was about probably about 4 years ago now he did that. And they're the worst ones. SW says they will sort him out no matter how long the wait. Do not get cold being in the car. No, if I get cold, I'm going to just go inside. Heb says he should get danger money. He should. He really should. And you know, when he gets injuries, because he does get quite a few, he willingly let, Emily isn't the nurse, and he will willingly let her sort him out. So we're very grateful for her. But reception is jam-packed full. It really is. And with the doctor's strike, obviously we didn't know there was a doctor's strike. That's probably why the waiting area is so full. Because it's taking longer to get through everybody. But we did the right thing. We went through 111 first of all. We've actually rung them twice. And the second time said you need to go to A&E. So that's where we are. Sarah says, I don't like hospitals. I don't suppose many do. No, I don't think many do. Not somewhere any of us would choose to be. SW says, my dad sliced the end of a finger using a guillotine whilst doing some woodwork. Years later, he did a similar thing, but not as bad. Oh my goodness. Heb says, they will have triaged him so they can make him comfortable for now. Yes, that's what 111 said. Dave says, worst workplace accident I ever had was pulling a tray out from under a high-level grill and spilt the oil all down my arm. That was a trip to A&E and nearly a month of work. Oh my goodness. Tony says, feeling like I live there at the minute. My dad has been in intensive care unit over a week now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tony. Thank you to all the 16 people that are in here joining us. When I got here earlier, the ambulances were further down. Oh, they've gone in the ambulance anyway. So how it is, everybody? Everyone all right? What have you been up to today? Sarah says, well, I was watching Rescue at Sea on BBC Two, but then I saw a YouTube alert, so I had to see what was going on. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry you had your program disturbed. SW says, at least it's not a Saturday or Friday night. Oh, when you could have could have a much longer wait. Absolutely. Heb says, all good here. Now I've stopped slipping on ice. Dave says, cold here in South Yorkshire. Might even have some more snow in the next couple of days. Oh my goodness, Dave. Sally Ann says, been gardening today as the weather has been nice. SW says, I was foraging for newly fallen twigs as they are good for starting the log burner. I was just thinking that if I should be turning the camera away so that when they take the person out of the ambulance, we don't see them, or I don't, they don't appear on film. John says, I'm keeping a close eye on Millie. It's okay, you can say why. John took Millie to the vets today and she's been spayed, poor little girl. He sent me a photograph of her earlier and she was snoozing. She seemed all right. Judith arrived. Hello, everyone. Hello, Judith. Thank you for joining. Heb says, shop today for swimwear as we have a Centre Park break coming up. Got it now before the rush. Wonderful, Heb. That sounds nice. Dave says, I'm guessing they don't charge for car parking there. Our local hospital charges. They certainly do charge, Dave. They do. And I'm thinking, where did I put the disc? That I don't know. Heb says, oh, poor Millie, but they get over it quick. SW says, John, has your cone? I use a doggy body suit as it's so much easier. John says, hi, Judith. Judith says, hi. No, she said, nice view, Lisa. Makes a change for you to be there instead of me. You're accident prone like my son, aren't you? I think Judith has her own room here on standby. SW says, can they stamp your parking ticket so you can get a reduction in the cost? No, they don't do that. No. And it's not a ticket as such. It's a coin. Let me just see what I did with that. Edward did have the it's a token. He had that initially, and then I thought I did. I don't know. They still charge you to park, do they, Judith? Although you've got your own room here. Maz says, should get a loyalty stamp. Free coffee, absolutely. I'm all for free coffee. Wow, that's interesting because the token's not where I thought it was. What did I do? I think he's got hold of that. Wow. Wow. It's not in there. Ah. In my coat pocket. Will that show? Where's, I don't even know where the camera is. Oh, there, that's the token. It's too far away for me to reach to show it to you properly. Did I miss any messages? Judah says, even the coffee shop closes at 8, Maz. It does. It does. And I think Edward and I might go somewhere after here. Ben, can order you just eat if you like, Lisa. Oh, Ben, no, that's fine. I'll wait for Edward and then he and I'll go and get something. Thank you, sir. That was so kind. Dave says, always the last place you look. It always is, isn't it? Judah says, Eddie's going to treat you to a car park for taking him up there. No, I wouldn't dream of doing that. No. Let me tell you, Mr. L, as we were walking out, he's probably watching this. He gave us some money to get something afterwards, and for the car parking token, we didn't really want it. We don't need any, but you know, if people are going to hand it out to us, well, that's very nice, isn't it? Mr. L and I, we went to Walcott this afternoon. Had a look out to sea. Several ships going past. And John says, good old Mr. L. Yes. Several ships. There was a Eurofighter or some sort of fighter jet, which I filmed. I think it might even be in focus. And SW says, nice of Mr. L to treat you. Yes. We said we would take him home some takeaway as well, and he said no, he didn't want anything. Sarah says, I can just see the Just Eat delivery address. Car park space opposite ambulance bay. Yeah. When I took Edward in, and just as we were in the queue waiting, we'd been to the first bit and we were waiting to go to the second bit, the police brought out a lady who had obviously been seen, and she was obviously under arrest, and she wasn't happy. She had an injury, or several injuries, and she wasn't happy. Well, she's probably in pain, isn't she? So felt like saying, oh, just take her home. Or just let her stay here the night. But no, I didn't say a word. And then then I left Edward in there and I came out, and she was still having a little go about getting in the back of the police car. So that's how I arrived. Well, no, not how I arrived. That's what we arrived to here. Got a very nasty bruise on her cheek. Now, why are you sat there? That's better. I can't believe there are 25 people in this live. (26). And of course, when you come here like this, you need these again, don't you? You need your masks. SW just poses in the white car. I thought, do they know I'm live? Why are they sat there like that? Because nothing else had gone past, had it? Dave says, never a dull moment in A&E. Absolutely. Sarah says, BMW man probably had you on his live stream, probably. Oh, Stephen's here. Hi, Stephen. How did I miss you arriving? Oh, Stephen says, hi, Lisa. Hi, all. Sorry, Stephen, I missed that. I think I was probably looking, I was either showing you my mask or the white car. Heb says, yes, you still need masks at hospitals. Yes, and it's right, really, isn't it? Trust us to need to come here on the day that the doctors are on strike. But good luck to the doctors. I hope they get what they're asking for. It's very rare doctors ever go on strike, so they must feel very strongly about it. So fingers crossed that it does some good and they get what's needed. Now, I will warn you that if I see the ambulance that's opposite bring somebody out, I'm going to use my mask to cover over the camera, okay? Because I don't think it's right that they go on the live stream. Judah says, doctors today, teachers tomorrow. Is it teachers tomorrow? Wow. Heb says, we were told by cardiac teams that COVID numbers were starting to go up again over here. Oh no. Really? Oh, I can hear a siren coming. Maz says, I think you should apply to BBC live event coverage. You can keep up with audience staring at a grey wall. Oh. SW says, the medical profession are the unsung heroes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Judah says, yes, and Thursday. Sally Ann says, the ambulance brought someone in a stretcher. Oh, has somebody left the ambulance already and I missed it? Well, that's just typical, isn't it? See, I can't multitask. I obviously can't watch the ambulance and whatever else I'm doing here. Dave says, I had a hospital appointment last month when nurses at Sheffield were on strike. Luckily, I had an appointment at rheumatology, so wasn't affected. Heb says, they certainly are, SW. Well, we had to ring 111 twice to get here. And, well, not to get here. We could have come just straight here, but we felt, you know, you're told ring 111. And on both occasions, we had brilliant, brilliant service. Lovely ladies. That person's just gone past holding an iPad in his hand. Is he looking for the live stream? He did look in, didn't he? SW says, your speech is much improved. Lisa, hope you're recovering well. Thank you, SW. It's not painful, never has been painful, even though I had a tooth out. It's just the temporary item I have to put up with until July, August time. Stephen says they all do a fantastic job in the NHS. They do. They are absolutely brilliant. And I, you know, sometimes when they get bad press, I think, why? You know, don't... These people deserve huge respect from everybody. Think of all the training they have to do. SW says the mouth heals so well and very quickly. Yes. I don't think I'm lisping as bad as I was. I think it's S's. I know when I did the film, or I said that I went to Carlton Marshes. I couldn't say marshes, but I can today. I was told by my dentist it would take about 5 days for my mouth to adjust and be able to get used to this. So for those of you who know what I'm on about, you know. And for those who don't know, I'm not going to tell you. It's far too much information. No, it's not pleasant. And anybody who's had it done will know it's not pleasant. Stephen says, I hope you are recovering from the dentist. I am, Stephen. Thank you. Heb says, you are adapting well, Lisa. Thank you. I think I am. Yes, it's so much easier to speak now. And I just think that's such a long time to wait, but you have to wait for your mouth to heal from having the tooth out. Before you can then have the next step. Malky's just arrived. Hello, Malky. Thank you for joining. Dave says, we are lucky to have the NHS. Look at the situation in America. People are scared to have any health care because of the cost. We are so lucky here. We really are. You know, it's like we were told there's a long wait. Well, what's the long wait? It's free, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Heb said, I've had a lot of dentistry over the years, more to come in the future. It's not nice, is it? It's, I mean, I remember in the past when you had the anaesthetic even, and you had all that awful feeling afterwards. It's not like that now. You go from the, and you had to go wait in the waiting room, didn't you, for it to take effect? There's none of that. It's virtual, well, it's instant. So you don't have to go into the waiting room. And, but it does wear off very quick as well. SW says, at least in the UK, we do get seen eventually for any medical needs. Heb says, a good dentist is worth their weight in gold. Absolutely. And when you get a good dentist, you hang on to them, don't you? You never change. Maz says, or Sarah says, gold filling is that. Oh, no, 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 no. No, it's worse than that. Worse than that, Sarah. Dave says, not completely free. Taxes and prescription charges. Yes, but compared to America, as somebody was just saying, we are incredibly lucky. Yes, that was rather unpleasant, SW, I have to say. Mine is right at the very front, though. SW says, when you are of a certain age, you get some things free. Well, I was going to say I look forward to that. I think I feel ready for retirement now, so I could just do YouTube all the time. But I've still got a long time to go. As is Judith. Are you still here, Judith? SW said, I applied for my bus pass over the weekend. Well, why not? Judith's still here. Not quite there yet, SW. No, Judith and I are the same age. What was that one, Stephen? Let me see. I got to have a top front one out tomorrow. Oh, Stephen. Are they doing anything at the same time, Stephen? Anything extra? Because I had, I don't know. David says, I'm currently not working due to health reasons, so I get things for free, but I suppose I paid enough taxes over the last 20 years. I'm sure you have, Dave. SW might as well grab it while I can get one before the age limit goes up. Is it going up, is it, SW? Oh, I keep pressing the wrong. Oh no, I've lost you. Wait. Come back. There you are. Sorry if you. Sarah says, got a second opinion on removing my wisdom tooth after filling broke, as it was very close to the nerve. Decided to leave it. It's been okay for 3 years now. Brilliant. Yeah, leave them there if you can. Definitely. SW says, not yet, but more than likely will do it. It probably will. Stephen says, hopefully not. I think they're doing a filling as well. So, before your appointment to oh. I can't even ask. Stephen, I'll leave you. I won't ask. That then gives away what I've had done. Not that it's any secret, but I just don't like discussing it. It's awful. It really is. SW says, good luck Stephen, at the dentist. Yes, absolutely. I hope you're not talking with a lisp afterwards like I am. What am I? I had it done Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm 4 days in. Post 4 days. Dave says, what time's your appointment tomorrow? 2:30. Oh, haha, Dave. Malky says, Great Yarmouth is the TV 5 Select. Huh? Am I missing something there? We've just got a screen up on the TV. Malky, you know, it used to be the little girl and the toy girl thing. But this is our screen we have here. Malky says something to do with the wartime remnants. This is our screen. You know, when you get to a certain time on the TV, they put a screen up. You just get this. At this rate, I might well be here all night. That'll be better if this van goes next to us, because then we'll have a better view that side. Test card. Thank you, Dave. Yes, the test card. Let me see. Let's see if I can show. Might be better to show that way. Oh, I missed a message. Let's have a look. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh. Right, if we have that like that, mind you, I then can't really see the writing. Data showing my age. Maggie says, is the hospital working at full capacity? I drove past earlier and it looked like there was a picket line type thing going on. Yes, the junior doctors are on strike, and A&E, which is what I'm here for, not for me, for my son. A&E is jam-packed full. As he and I walked into A&E to register being there, a woman was escorted out, having been treated. She was obviously under arrest, 2 police escorting her out. She was in tears. She got several injuries, as you could see, and she wasn't happy. She wasn't going in the police car, because then, and I just left my son in there because, you know, he doesn't want mum sat with him. Then she was still creating about getting in the police car afterwards. So yes, you would have seen a picket line here earlier. SW said, did they not used to play the national anthem after the TV programmes finished at night on the BBC? I think they did, didn't they? I don't know how long ago that stopped, but yes, I believe they did. Gosh, we'd suddenly got 3 ambulances in opposite. Sarah says, yes, and there wasn't any daytime TV either. I can remember there only being 3 TV channels. Stephen says, yes, they did. I just remember that. Is that the Gritter? It is. The Gritter has just gone past. Malky says, Open University always used to be on BBC 2. SW says, I remember only 2 channels. And I remember there was no remote control. You used to get up and have to press your finger on the button to switch the channel. Just going to see how it charges. Because we came out in a rush to come here, I hadn't got my phone fully charged. Oh, and it's not going to show me now anyway. I just want to try some. Oh no, won't let me do that either. Won't let me do that. Yes, so I came out without my phone fully charged and my battery pack only showing 2 lights on it, and now I'm down to 1. So I don't know how long we'll be chatting for. Dave says, we used to have a VCR with a wired remote control. Our first remote had a cable attached to the TV, says SW. Hev, back again. Did I miss anything? Ice cream? No, we haven't had ice cream. Sticks of rock, the usual. No, we're getting a bit steamed up, I think, on the window, aren't we? I have got the window open a fraction. Stephen says, I remember when Channel 4 and 5 were launched, we had to buy a new TV as ours only had 3 channel buttons. SW says, did you go and get wine, Hev? And Sally Ann says, not even a glass of wine, Hev? Not even fish and chips, says Dave. Hev says, SW, how did you know? Although I was just packing. I think Hev's going on holiday to Center Parcs. Which one, Hev? Is it the one at Thetford? I've never been there. SW says, packing? Where are you going, Hev? Hev's going to Woburn Center Parcs. Hev says, such long journey though. Judy, you've been to Center Parcs, haven't you? You went to the Thetford one. And took my daughter with you. SW says, can we all go with Hez? Yes, of course, we are going with Heb. Not can we, we are. Oh, it's just 5 minutes away from you, is it? Dave says, I can't hear Thetford without thinking Thetford chemical toilets. Heb says, we are being nosy as we pass by all the time. Need to see inside. Absolutely. Research, Hev. Research. So you can tell us all on here what it's like. Just going to say, I don't know how long he's been in there, but I've been live 49 minutes, so he's probably been in there about an hour now. Dave says, have I do a similar thing with pubs? SW says, I'm sure Hev will have a lovely time. Shirley's here. Evening, I've just joined. Where are you? Hi Shirley, thank you for joining. Well, I've just dropped my son off at the James Paget Hospital, A&E. So I'm waiting in the car park because it's not cool at his age to have mum sat beside you. It was cool to have his mum sat beside him when he shot himself in the leg with a nail gun a few years ago, but not today. Heb says, thank you. I'm sure we will find the pubs and coffee shops too. Gordon says, this is obscure, Lisa. I thought you were still looking for the Ida. Oh, I've given up looking for that. It was there, then it wasn't, then it came back, and then it wasn't. And I went both times when it wasn't there. So that's it. I'm not going back anymore. Beautiful duck though. Just wish I'd seen it. Judith says, I have to go now. Catch you all later. Thanks for joining, Judith. Have a good evening. I love how everybody says bye to somebody when they go. Isn't that so kind? See, I do have the best subscribers. I really do. Dave says it's called good manners. Absolutely. And manners cost nothing. That's hard to say. Gordon says there are a few things more onerous than waiting in a hospital A&E car park. I don't blame you for livening the process up a bit with your fans. I knew you'd all keep me company, you see. Sally Ann says, we all feel that we know each other. We do all know each other. We've been on boat trips together. Dave says, manners maketh the man. Absolutely, they really do. Manners, and just smile at somebody. That costs nothing either. It might make their day. Heb says, our son-in-law looks through the windows of A&E pulling faces to cheer us up. That's brilliant. I love that. Sarah says, just shows you the quality of TV. 22 people here. Honestly, you need to get in touch with the BBC. Let's face it, they can't get their staff to show up. Yeah, you will turn up. Every time I go live, you will turn up. 23 of you here. I think the most we had at any one time was 26. Heb says, can't get rid of us, Lisa. No, but I don't want to get rid of you. I'm very grateful for each and every one of my subscribers. Dave says, when I was in A&E last May, they actually came round with teas and coffee. Did they? Oh, well, I better go back in then, hadn't I? In, oh, actually in the cubicle bit or in the waiting room? Sounds very civilized. Even when I went live the other day and all I was doing was putting some seeds in trays, you were all watching me do that. Stephen says TV is just full of repeats. It is, Stephen. I don't watch TV. I don't watch films. I'm incredibly boring. In the waiting room. Oh, perhaps I'm missing out. SW said you could be missing out on cream cake sat there in the car park. Don't think I fancy a cream cake. Though Dave says there was a 7-hour wait. Well, we've been warned there's a very long wait today because of the doctor's strike. So Sally Ann says, hope you're watering the seeds. Well, I only did them on Sunday. And I watered them Sunday, so they're absolutely fine. I have been in to check on them and they looked okay. I wonder if we'll have a helicopter fly in while I'm sat here. I can't read that one out. Actually, to anybody watching this on the replay, hello and welcome, and thank you for watching the replay. While I'm showing you just a completely grey wall with a little bit of writing on it. But somehow 22 don't mind watching. Dave says there wasn't even a strike back then, but it was 7 a.m. Saturday morning and there were people in from Friday night. Oh my goodness. Gordon said my wife was the head of catering at the James Paget when it first opened. Stephen says, I missed that live, still need to watch it on the replay. Oh, the seeds. Well, Emily and I were doing the seeds. She was filling up all the little containers for me and I was doing the seeds and doing the live. We totally forgot that a wood delivery was coming. So there's an almighty racket as the wood is delivered off the back of the tip-up truck. And then it was all wheelbarrowed past us. So it's rather chaotic. And then Judith arrived, who's just been in the live. She arrived with her daughter and son-in-law and her grandson. So it was all, oh, it's nice. Really nice. Sarah says, I'll say one thing. When I was in Coventry Hospital in 2021, I was impressed with the food. Stephen says, sounds good. Well, it was rather chaotic, Stephen. You'll get to see that I haven't got a clue, but I was just sowing seeds, so hopefully I've done that right. And I did some potatoes. It amused me. Goodness, somebody's just been wheeled out of the hospital to transport, so obviously going to a care home or being taken home somewhere. It's a bit late in the evening, isn't it? Mind you, they let you out all times of day, don't they, here? Oh. somebody's just come out of A&E with another 2 policemen been put in the back of a van. I can't show you that. But this person went into the back of the van a lot easier than the woman went into the back of the police car earlier. It all happens, doesn't it? Eh? All happens here. Super Foxes has arrived and says, what's happening? Well, I am sat in the car park of A&E, who I've dropped my son off and he doesn't want mum to sit with him. So I said, well, I'll wait in the car. But apparently there's a very long wait because the doctors are on strike today. So let me just do this because, yeah, the doctors are on strike. Sorry. I'm just respecting that person's privacy, officer. Yeah, so this is where we are. And I thought, well, rather than just sit here on my phone, I'll go live and we can all chat together and you can all keep me company. SW says they must need the bed space. I imagine they do. Dave says police are busy there tonight. They are, definitely. Yeah, well, the van is still there. Let's see if I can show you the van. Can you see that? The red lines on the back. Red and yellow. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that it says. So yeah, that's where they just went into. And if I leave it like that. Super Foxer says, oh dear, I hope all is well. Yes, he's a joiner, carpenter, and he was using something today and loads of wood or sawdust went up into his eye under his safety goggles, and he thinks he scratched his eye and his eye was starting to shut up. So he'll be fine. Oh, bit of raised voices. Police have just arrived. Yeah, they've pulled in. I shouldn't really be live streaming this, should I? Stephen says, I tried to plant seeds a couple of years ago, but Pip dug them up and not long after I planted them. Oh. Let's see, are they taking somebody in? Or are they just come out for a jolly to meet their friends? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's probably best I don't know. SW said the people are too far away for us to see, but if you want to block them out, then please do. Gordon says, police looking for a strange woman. Yes, I know. That's why I've got it just on the grey wall. So hopefully I'm okay. Oh, right, well, the van is pulling out and leaving, as is the car. And the car didn't collect anybody. I don't know what that's about. A Super Fox that says, love your work, by the way. I holiday on the Norfolk Broads on a boat. It's fantastic. Thank you. That's very kind. Very kind of you to say that. So, David's here. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening, all. Hi, David. Hev says, police are always kept busy at A&E departments. Years ago, that was where most of the calls for help came. Sarah says, whose round is it? Stephen says, hi, David. I think that's better now we don't have the ambulances in, doesn't it? Isn't it? Windows steamed up on the left-hand side, but I don't mind that because that just blocks it again. It's getting a bit chilly, folks, I have to say. It's definitely getting chilly. Gordon says it's going to be -4 down here in the south tonight. Gosh. That's not good. Sarah says, can't you pinch one of the tinfoil blankets they have in the ambulance? Oh, excuse me. Heb says, well done, Lisa. We would have been uncomfortable being filmed as we got off the ambulance. Maggie says, I had my central heating on in this holiday home and I've had to turn it off. Oh my goodness. It's very efficient in your holiday home then. Gordon says, I'm ready for spring now. Patience is slipping. And David says, not much better in North Lincolnshire. Well, Steve is fed up with the wet and cold weather now. Marcus says, anybody wants some free heat? He's got, the heating's too hot. Well, I'm sat here with my window open so that my windows don't steam up. But the windscreen is steamed up on the left, but I don't mind that because that just blocks out the view of anybody going in or from an ambulance. The man never came back with his iPad, did he? Do you think he was on the live? That was very funny. Esther was getting fed up with her dogs getting wet every time they go for a walk. Malky's going to back up the free heat. Dave says, we'll be complaining in the summer when it's too hot. Absolutely, we will. We really will be. We'll be saying, no, can't sit out here. David says it got warmer when we left Norfolk on Saturday, but now it's cooling down. Heb says they take a while to dry out, SW. The smell of drying dog is quite something. Gordon says the British obsession with the weather, maybe because there is so much of it. SW says they have a certain undercarriage wash in the sink, Hev. Sarah says Whitby holiday next week, forecast rain. Oh no, Sarah. It'll be fine. They always get the weather wrong. Sarah doesn't fancy rain on her fish and chips. SW says Whitby is lovely. Malky says I'm in Scarborough over the weekend. We'll be paying a visit to Whitby. Dave says even if it's raining, it's still better than being at home. Absolutely, Dave. A holiday's always what you make it, isn't it? Stephen says yes, please, to the free heat. My boiler is almost out of oil as the tanker didn't come today. Hopefully coming tomorrow. Oh no, Stephen. So Maggie, can you please take some of your free heat to Stephen? I think he's in Cambridgeshire. David says Yorkshire holiday in 6 weeks, so hope the weather gets better. Sarah says yes, if you Google Galatea, is that right? Galatea holiday cottages, actually in the lighthouse. Malky says it's the seagulls. Watch out for Whitby seagulls and your fish and chips. SW says Yorkshire is one of my favourite destinations along with the Peak District. Ben's here. Hi, Ben. Ben says Whitby fish and chips are top notch. Malky says I'll actually be heading home that way. A11, A14, A1. There you are, Stephen. Free heat. Bags of free heat will be dropped off for you. We do have a laugh on here, don't we? Either that or I'm just totally bonkers. Just as well Judith gone, otherwise she would have said, yes, I am. Sarah says, yeah, I love the Norfolk Broads, though. Can't beat the sunset. David says, Stalin fish and chips are great. Stephen's laughing at having the free heat delivered next week. Let me see how long he's been in A&E. So, roughly 85 minutes, about an hour and 20 minutes. Dave said Norfolk's better because it's flatter. Too many hills here in Yorkshire. Hev says, I was being politely We are all bonkers though. Oh, did you say something? I missed that. I think I am. And I think, I was going to say, I think my family would probably agree. But I think they're just used to me now and they just ignore me, which is fine. Sarah says, I'm hungry now, talking about fish and chips. Stephen says, small fish and chip shop in Sheringham, side street, is lovely. See, I'm the only person on this planet who doesn't like fish and chips. But David says, best part of Yorkshire is the road back to Lincolnshire. David. Stephen says, I'm hungry now, but Lisa doesn't like fish. No, I don't. Johnny says, I don't too. What? You don't like fish and chips, John? Dave says you're not allowed to call people bonkers anymore. They're eccentric. Oh, I'm in that category, am I? Oh, is that my son? Wait a minute. No. Oh, I thought for a minute he was coming out of there then. No, he's not. You don't like fish and chips, John? No, but I don't mind McDonald's chips. They're the only ones I would eat. Gordon says, we used to frequent the seafood restaurant in Great Yarmouth when I lived in Norfolk. I was saddened to see that it closed down now. Great food. Yeah, it's very sad, but not that I went there. And Octopus as well, that's a new one on King Street. It moved into King's Wine Bar. But that's sadly closed as well. Octopus, it's a great name. Sarah says, no, you can call them nutters instead. Well, I just think if people laugh at me, they're not laughing at other people, and I don't mind being laughed at. I always remember, if I'm still connected and live, when Edward gets back here, I'll get him to tell his story. He was in his last year of school, I think it was, and I was taking, no, he might have been younger than that, and I used to drive them to school. And this one particular morning, I just picked up a caramel egg, you know, like you get at Easter. Hi Connor, thank you for joining. And so I picked up this egg and I ate it. And then it was obviously a sugar high because I'd not eaten anything. I didn't even consider that. And then I sang in the car at the top of my voice all the way to school. I was singing to Edward all the way to his school. And as he got out, I said, bye, have a good day. I'll come and collect you tonight. I'll be here as normal. No, don't bother. He didn't appreciate my singing. And that was what? That was a cream, a caramel egg that did that to me. Ben says, I've heard there's been changes at Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. Apparently the log flume has been removed. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, the log flume has long gone. But there is something new going to be built. I'm not up on rides, but you've got this central pillar, and at the top it looks like swings, individual swings, and they all swing out. Apparently that's going to be the new ride for Yarmouth this year. And the big wheel's still here. Everybody's saying hello to Connor. He says, hi Lisa, hi Connor. Dave says, you obviously weren't singing a song he liked. Clearly not. Dave says, oh, excitement and ambulance. Is that what they're called, is it, Ben? Ben says those swing things that go up high are called a wave swinger. Is that right? SW says, the new ride sounds terrifying. It does. Heb says, at least sugar makes you happy, Lisa. My friend is allergic to chocolate and gets nasty. Oh, goodness. That must be awful for her. Well, needless to say, I've never eaten another caramel egg. It's quite scary, just what it can do to you. And they're so tiny, aren't they? And that makes it even worse. Let me have a look here and tidy up, because if he comes back to the car, there's nowhere actually for him to sit. Fancy being allergic to chocolate. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's the cocoa. It's got to be, hasn't it? And is that all chocolate or just like dark chocolate? Sarah says, right, I'm going to love you and leave you all. Make sure you get a nice cup of coffee soon. Take care, everyone. Bye. Sarah, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stephen says, I don't like caramel eggs. Well, I don't like what they do to me. So, and Edward wasn't a fan of my singing. So, if I'm still live and he walks up to the car, when he gets in, I'm going to say, I'll say something about caramel eggs, and then you can hear his reaction. How long have I been live? 84 minutes. So it's 94. So it's roughly an hour and a half he's been waiting in there. I hope he's okay. I bet he hasn't even been in there yet. Yes, it's the cocoa. She can't even have the decorative sprinkle of cocoa on her plate. Has to send it back. Oh, goodness. Wow. Poor girl. I don't think I'm actually allergic to anything. If I eat a mint, it makes me sneeze, but that's not being allergic to it. But if I eat a spearmint, I'm absolutely fine with that. But being allergic to something, no. SW says chocolate cocoa is a nut. Oh, and there is a nut allergy, isn't there? Are you still here, John? If you are, how's Millie? Bye, Gordon. Thank you for joining. Gordon says, well, got to go, Lisa. Have a good evening. Hope you get out of there soon. Thank you. John says, yeah, I'm still here. She's still asleep. Oh, she'll be fine, won't she? You've done the right thing. Been a very responsible owner. I think the car park. I think the car park is quieter now. I think I'm going to have to get my other coat out the back. John says, yes, she will be. I'll sleep on the floor by a cage tonight. Oh, John. He says, just keep her calm and warm, John, and she will be as right as anything very soon. Yeah. Our pets are our babies, aren't they? Who has... Oh, wait. Oh, wait, let's have a look. What have I missed? Heb says, best way, John, is to sleep it off. Penny was very noisy after hers. The anaesthesia affected her. SW says, we have all slept on the floor with our pets at some point. We have, yes. Yes, even my little Bertie. I hated sending him to, or taking him to the vets when he was neutered. I felt the worst mum ever. But it's the right thing to do. You have to do it for them. I was going to say, I don't why. Oh, I said our pets are our babies. David said, is visiting time over? There seems to be an activity now. I think it must be, yes. It possibly ended at 9 or 9:15, I'm not sure. Stephen says, and they can't tell you what's wrong. No, they can't, can they? It's like I'm sat here in the car and I'm thinking, well, has he gone in there yet? Hasn't he? Shall I go and have a look? And I think, no, leave him be. So I'm having this discussion in my head. He's an adult. He certainly does not need mum sat in them with him. If he did, he'd let me know. my children all tease me. They all say, I don't know, how about you? Do any of your children tell you that you favour one child over others? What's that all about? They just like to wind you up about it, don't they? I have 2 girls and a boy, and my girls tease me and say that I favour Edward more than them. I don't. It's a load of rubbish. Who else has that to deal with? He's the youngest. SW says, he is still waiting to be seen. Probably could be a long night for you. Yes. Hev says, it's difficult when they want to be independent, Lisa. I know. I do have this battle with myself. I mean, really, he should... Well, I was going to... SW says, luckily I only have one child. Sally Ann says, you might still be there in the morning, Lisa. Oh, my goodness. Well, judging by the number of people in there and the woman who said, you will have a very long wait because the doctors are on strike. Stephen says, last time I was in A&E, I was there for 7 hours. Stephen, no. Wow. Oh, goodness. Carol says, I have 3 girls and 1 boy. And they all say I favour my eldest daughter. Hez says, yes, my 2 joke about who is the favourite one often, mainly to wind me up. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. They still do it, and the oldest is now 45. Yeah. They know, you see, they know they get a reaction from me when they say it, and that's why they do it. So I just say, well, no, Bertie's my favourite. Bertie's a cat, for anybody who doesn't know. And he is thoroughly spoilt, let me tell you. Oh, I might have said that a bit loud because he looked at me, didn't he? Yes. Well, I'm glad it's not just me. It makes me feel better. And to any of my children sneakily watching and listening, stop winding mum up about who the favourite is. It's Bertie. My darling little Bertie. SW says, of course, Bertie would have to be the favourite. Of course he is. Oh, let me just, sorry, I just saw at the last minute somebody being wheeled in. I don't know if you can see their faces or anything, but if somebody's watching this on a gigantic TV, they may well be able to see. So I don't want to get wrong for showing anybody. Dave says, I know I'm the favourite. I'm an only child. I'm an only child. And everybody says only children get spoiled. They don't. I don't think so. SW says, the left-hand side is no longer misted. It is the right-hand side. Is the right-hand side misty now? Well, a bit, yes. Strange, isn't it? But I've got my window. Dave says, can't see a thing. No, I'm just making absolutely sure. I don't want to have my live reported for showing people. David says, I don't know why I'm looking at hospital as I've had Vicky there twice this week, and she has an eye injection on Friday, so 3 times this week. Oh my goodness, poor Vicky. Sounds like eye injections for macular degeneration. Stephen says, good luck with that. Yes. I know when I saw her, she was telling me she's got lots of different things going on at the minute. David, I've tried the coffee. It is spectacular in a cafetiere. So thank you both. That's wonderful. Really, really wonderful coffee. Dave says, eye injections are awful. I've had a couple in the past. David says, at least she's getting her money's worth out of the NHS. SW says, I have to say the signal here is brilliant. Yes, I think I saw earlier it was fine. A full house of 5G. Sally Ann says, have to go soon. Bye, everyone. Hope you don't have to wait too long, Lisa. Thank you, Sally Ann. Thank you for keeping me company while I've been waiting. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for all the likes on this live stream. David says, glad you like the coffee. Is it as good as the Turkish Delight coffee? It's better, David. It's really nice. But so is the Turkish Delight coffee. Sounds awful, doesn't it? But it's really nice. David and Vicky keep me supplied with coffee for when I'm out filming. I have the best friends, I really do. Dave says, if I'm not in the eye clinic, I'm at rheumatology. It's a good job I don't drive and have to pay car parking. Yeah, I'm taxi tonight. Oh, I'd say we got some chap come out in his gown. Well, he must be frozen. What's he doing walking around outside with just a gown on for? Dave says, I actually like Turkish Delight. I love Turkish Delight. Yes. The Cypriot one is my favourite. Of course, having lived in Cyprus for a while. Yeah, very nice. David says, you won't get any next year. That's the coffee. It's booked for the time we want to go, so looking for somewhere else. Oh no. SW says, an escapee from the hospital, having a cigarette perhaps. SW, you are absolutely spot on. There are lots of people heading this way. I'm going to just cover over the camera, okay? Oh, they're going beside my car. We're okay after all. Heb says, cigarette break maybe. You do see some sights at the hospital doors. Dave says, halloumi cheese is from Cyprus too, I believe. It is. As are oranges, lemons, grapefruit, watermelon. SW loves halloumi. I don't mind halloumi. With a little bit of sweet chilli dip over the top of it. It is squeaky cheese, Dave, yes. David says, you have to leave the hospital ground here to have a ciggy. When he's walking away from the front door, so I think perhaps he shouldn't be. He must be frozen, mustn't he? Honestly. He's actually got somebody, I don't know if it's security or who. He's got somebody moving him on away from the front door. SW says hospitals should be strictly smoke-free zones. Dave likes halloumi battered and deep fried. Well, you see, it's back to the batter thing, which is why I don't like fish and I don't like chips. Sea oil. Not a fan of... Well, actually, it doesn't like me. David says, you see people in gowns on the streets outside the hospital. Well, I tell you, I'm certainly seeing it all here tonight. It's fun to watch, though. I don't plan on making this a regular location, let me add. Yeah, the security, that was security. They're coming back now. They watch everything on the cameras, don't they? I don't know. David says, and dragging drips on stands. Yeah. I'd stay on the ward. I wouldn't go gallivanting around, out and about around the place, if that was me. You know me, I'd abide by the rules. I hope he's not still waiting in there. I hope he's actually being seen. If I could message him on live, I would. Marky says, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Falling asleep here, not because of the company. I'm not used to being up this late. Thank you for joining us, Malky. It is the company, really. I know, I know. I mean, what more could anybody want than to sit and look at a great wall? I mean, you know. I think if I continue to sit in this car much longer, I'll be needing some of those bags of heat. Tuesday night at the hospital. Yeah, I don't plan on making it a regular feature. Data's better than TV. Yeah, it might take off. It's so random, my channel. Sowing seeds at the weekend to sitting outside the hospital. You never know what you'll get next. Is that why you will watch? Oh dear. I've got tomorrow. Maggie says, and still, wait a minute. You only get, the message only shows up on the screen for about 2 seconds. Maggie says, and still so warm in this tin box. That's not helping. Stephen said, followed by Wednesday morning at the hospital. You think I'm still going to be here? I think you might be right. Only us could be here and needing the A&E department when the doctors are on strike. It could only be, you know, it's just us that would happen to. David says, can we have Norwich Hospital next? That might be John. John likes going there, don't you, John? Are you still here, John? Hev says, bye all. Hope you don't have to wait much longer, Lisa, and that Edward is okay. Thank you, Hev. Malky says, anyway, I'm gone. Bye. Bye, Malky. Thank you for joining us all and keeping us company. SW says, you could do a tour of all the Norfolk hospitals. We could play Guess the Hospital. John says, yeah, he's still here. You like it there, don't you, John? Well, many years ago, I did actually do voluntary work here for about 5 years. And I loved every second of it. It was really good. I had to have my appendix out. And because I felt I was so well looked after, I would come and volunteer here and try and give something back. So that's what I did. It was really good. So I could easily give you a tour of here on the inside. I know my way around. Every time I see somebody who's wearing light grey trousers, I think, oh, here he comes. But no, it's not him. See, I could go and wait inside, but then I've got no one to chat to, have I? And I can't go live in there. There is nobody outside now over there. No more police cars. Gosh, if we have a 7-hour wait, that makes it about 2 in the morning that he gets seen. Sorry, I get distracted and start looking around the car park. SW says the windscreen is misting up. It is, isn't it? If I clear the windscreen, it will be very noisy. What do we want? Do we want the windscreen cleaned? David says, last time I took Vicky to A&E, I was allowed to stay with her. Oh yeah, I could have stayed with Ed. I asked him what he wanted me to do. But I am feeling I need to go and be in there, really. Every time the door opens, I look across. SW says, we're all breathing too heavy. Yes. Can you all stop breathing? John says, put your engine... Oh, I've got the car. Why park next to me? That's awkward, isn't it? I'm going to start my car and then I can put my engine up. My window up. I'll be very loud. Steve says we'll all hold our breath. Well, if you have the temperature on 20, well, I've got it on high, so that's about 30. Oh, the person next door's got an injured person. Means I can't see the door now. The windscreen soon clears, doesn't it? David says, we're 16 in that car, I'm not surprised. SW says, that was a quick demist. I know, it's great. I do love my car. It's just a little bit on the left-hand side. I suppose I'm missing all the comings and goings of A&E really, aren't I? David says that's better. I thought my eyesight was failing. Stephen says quicker than mine. We could even have clear the back windscreen as well. We can see a lot better now, can't we? But the trouble is, I'm more on show now, I think, because my phone is lit up. It's not coming out warm yet. Or is it? Let's have a look. It's on windscreen and feet. Well, there's nothing happening at feet, but it's definitely happening on windscreen. Oh, you can even have that one on. There says, I have a quick demist on my car, but over half the filaments don't work. Right, I think we're clear now, aren't we? Now my light's on because I just switched the engine off. There's just 12 of us here now. I've got a fully charged phone though. Stomach's rumbling. Stomach always rumbles when I go live. Edward and I didn't eat tea because, well, I thought I knew I'd be coming up here. So I said to him, after we come out of there, we're going to drive through McDonald's. That'll keep us occupied, won't it? Can you hear me, Ed? Wait a minute, I'm going to end my live. Bye. Sorry, I've got to rush. He's just rung me. See you later. Thanks all for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Sorry.